Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Brian. I'm going to apologize right now for the outdoor power equipment that's going to sporadically start up during this video. They didn't start till I came outside. But anyway, today we're going to be working on my 2012 VW Touareg. The rear wiper motor is kind of giving up the ghost. My son borrowed it this summer. When it came back, it was straight up. It moved one more time down to this position. I've moved around a little bit, and now every time you start the car, it makes a bunch of racket, tries to park itself, and eventually gives up. So I got a new wiper motor, and let's see if we can get it in here. I guess we'll start by taking the wiper arm off. It's not really doing me any good now anyway. I'm assuming this cover pops off, which it does. And then this is where the little squirter discharge is. So I'm guessing that's going to pop off too. Can't really imagine how else this thing would attach. Okay, that's just a little interference friction fit on there. This is a 13. And we'll see if this comes off. There we go. So that wiper motor lives right about here. This is just a little holder for your European warning triangles, I believe, would go in that position. So it doesn't really gain you anything, but it does expose some screws. And those look to be a Torx something or other, maybe a 15 or a 20. So we'll get those out of there. These are T20s. Under this little hatch, I'm assuming is a light bulb access, which it is. Let's see if there are any other screws. I don't see anything. This is kind of not even clipped on all the way anyway. So that so far just pulled off. There you go, all snaps together. There's a clip here for the tailgate close. Pull that out. There's a wiring connector, same thing for this light over here. There we go. So this whole panel just pops off. So we're looking at this upside down, and as I often like to do, let's make sure we got the right part. This is a VW brand aftermarket 579723, and it's supposed to fit. Let's see here. All right, I believe we have the correct part. So there's the washer fluid connection right here. This little metal clip appears to just pop out of there. And then I'm assuming this will pull off. It does. And then the electrical connection. And then there appear to be 3 10mm nuts. Now my assumption would be this should just pull off. Bam, and it does. Looks like the gasket, etc., is part of the rear window and still intact. Looks like this will just, the new one, just slide right in. Tighten these nuts down. You don't need to go crazy on them. The electrical connection pops in. Unfortunately, I have a bucket in the back of the car. It just so happened this clip popped into it. So there we go. Now, slide the panel back on, put those screws back in. Do not forget your light connection. And tailgate connection. Yeah, so be careful when you're putting that back on, that you don't inadvertently press the button. There it went. Probably can't see it, but there's round plastic pins molded onto this panel that kind of locate it, so you have to get them in the hole, and then the metal clip will pop into the slot next to it. So I think that's all as it should be. These little covers, which probably didn't even need to take out, other than it gives you something to pull on. This cover around the trunk latch kind of shot off on its own, so apparently it's captured behind there. So it needs to go on first. Then these two T20 screws, pretty much the only screws back here. Now we move to the outside. I'm going to assume that that new motor from the factory is in the parked position. Can't imagine why it wouldn't be. 13mm nut. I'm going to flip that up and go put the key in the ignition and test it. So apparently this is supposed to park on that side. And honestly, when it worked right, I can't remember, so we'll take that back off and park it over there. That looks a little better. This rear nozzle that has two little squirters. They never exactly worked right. So I'm going to go attempt to blow them out and run something through there to try to clean them out. So I ran some little pieces of copper wire through that. Try to roto-root it out a little bit. That should just press on. Put the cover on. Now we can test it for real. All right, there we go. So that's how to replace the rear wiper motor in your 2012 Touareg. It'd probably be the same in a Cayenne, Q7. It was really easy. And I have to say, that's the first wiper motor in my career as a mechanic I've ever had to replace. Rear wiper motor anyway. So just out of curiosity, let's go take the old one apart and see what actually broke in it. Don't imagine you'll be doing this, but these are T10 screws. Oh man. Yeah, I'd say it had some problems. I don't know if it got water in it or what, but I'm assuming that would be just plain old grease. I've never seen brown grease either. So it probably explains why it was always noisy. I don't know if it got water in it or if this tube leaked and filled it with washer fluid, but you can see the mechanism. And you can see where the gear got stuck and just tore, this worm gear tore. This is the worm gear down here. Just tore all the teeth off this ring gear. And then this is the mechanism that works these contacts in here that actually parks it and tells it where it is. So anyway, there you go. That could be a real hoarder and pull the motor out of here in case there's ever an electrical problem with the other one. I would have a spare, but I'll be honest with myself, I'll never do that. And look, the VW one originally was a Valeo also. So there you go. 7P6 955 711. That's the VW part number. If you ever need one, that's a really easy job. The dealer listed this for over $200. This isn't, I got this from an aftermarket place. I think it was 107. So that's how to replace the rear wiper motor in your 7P Touareg. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.